YouTube? This is Vargas XX78 from the Vargas Vault. Back again with the second complimentary video to the stuff that I've gotten since the last time I've seen you all. I just shared the random stuff, and like an idiot that I am, I actually forgot one thing. I bought this online thinking it was a lot cooler than it actually is. A couple of months ago, I bought a WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's a toy version of the big gold belt, and I've been wanting to get a couple more. A seller online had this. It's the United States Championship belt, and I like the logo on this belt, so I bought it. But when I actually got it, it's a really poor quality belt. The logo is still cool, but everything else, this is very cheap quality, and this is really cheap quality, and it's super puny. I didn't pay that much for it, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, it's ridiculously small. This is for a child, a very small child. So yeah, I had my first kind of bummer experience buying online, which is why I enjoy buying stuff right then and there in Overwheels or at the stores, because I avoid that kind of stuff. But que sera, you know, it happens. Well, that's why I don't buy online. So this being the complimentary part for the Vargas Vault pickup video, I'm going to talk about movies, and if you know me and you know my channel, you know I like to save everything up and make one massive movie video. I will try to keep it short. I do promise I will try to keep it short. So first off, picked up Shakespeare in Love. I already picked this movie up for my wife. However, it's a little scratched and it skips. So I had to rebuy it, a better version, and this one doesn't skip as bad. My wife genuinely likes it. It's not a bad movie, but it definitely didn't deserve Best Picture. Not really. Also, I picked this movie up. I've never seen this movie, because it looks terrible, despite the fact that it does have Drew Barrymore, and I really like Drew Barrymore. But I found out it has Bill Murray. So, since I collect movies for different actors, and Bill Murray is one of them, I picked Charlie's Angels. Just because of Bill Murray. Otherwise, I would not even have come close to this movie. And there's a second one, but Bill Murray's not in that. Bernie Mac actually replaces Bill Murray. So, of course, I will not buy that second part. But, it is what it is. Also picked up G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. The second movie I actually found a lot more enjoyable. I really enjoyed the second one much more than the first one. The first one has some cool things. I like Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow is badass in this, and the Baroness is amazing in this. Snake Eyes also should be cool, but they made something weird with his mask that they fixed in the second one, where he has a mouth on a mask. And it's a plastic mask, not like something that's fabric where you can see the outline. It's a plastic mask and it has lips, and that is a weird decision. So the second one, a lot better. This one is enjoyable. Also, in the last video I mentioned, I am trying to go for a complete Metallica collection. CD, which I have achieved. Now I'm trying on DVD side to complete, and I'm focusing on getting a complete Disney collection for my daughter, which is really hard because some of the Disney stuff is out of print, and when they do re-release it, they take out some special features that were in other releases, and it's expensive as hell. It's really hard to get cheap Disney stuff, but I have fortunately been lucky enough to get some of the older stuff. Since they're releasing a bunch of stuff on Blu-ray, a lot of people are getting rid of their older out-of-print Disney DVDs, which is awesome for me because I can get it. If you put an animated cartoon on a Blu-ray player, it does kind of upscale it, so you really can't tell that much of a difference. If it's a 2D thing. If it's a 3D thing, you can technically see the difference in the image quality, but it's not that noticeable. So I'm getting DVDs because why not? And I already have the Blu-ray of this, but I came across the DVD, the Dumbo DVD Big Top Edition, and it does have some special features that the DVD release does not have. And I really like Dumbo. It's one of the more... I always relate Dumbo with Alice in Wonderland because Alice in Wonderland is a trippy movie, and I love the hell out of Alice in Wonderland. And this one has that trippy scene where the pink elephants, where Dumbo gets drunk and he and the mouse hallucinates this really trippy scene with the pink elephants. And it's an elephant that can fly, you know, that in itself is weird. But I love Dumbo, and I am man enough to admit this, but when Dumbo's mom starts singing to him, that scene always gets me. It always, makes me come up with the feels. So yeah, a friend of mine from work heard about my epic quest to get the Disney movies, and he was super awesome and got me 101 Dalmatians, the Platinum Edition. Because this is the thing, Disney has re-released their movies a number of times. They released a VHS version, and then they released a Signature Series VHS version that came in a big box. And then when the DVDs came out and were new, they released a limited issue version of their movies. No special features, just the movie as is. Then, on the anniversary, they re-released them again as the Platinum editions. And these were 2-disc movies. The movie with a graphic uphold. They cleaned the movie up from the master film that they had. They cleaned up the colors, they cleaned up the image, they made it a lot sharper, and of course they packed it with special features that were not available in the limited issue releases. And then again, they have re-released these on Blu-ray with an even higher definition on image and a couple of more special features. Some special features are removed and replaced with others, so I love special features. I love hearing and seeing how a movie is made and all the process that goes into it. So yeah, it is an occasion that I do double dip and buy multiple copies of a movie because I like the special features. This, I didn't have this one, and it's been released on Blu-ray, I know that, but I picked up The Fox and the Hound. This is the Gold Collection. It has very bare-boned, actually it doesn't have any special features. And this is a cute Disney movie. It's not in any way my favorite Disney movie, but it's a cute movie nonetheless. And again, I'm trying to get all of this for my daughter, so she'll enjoy it. I picked this long time ago. He hasn't done anything in months and years, actually. But if you're my age and you followed YouTube from its beginning, you might have heard of the Spoonie one. Noah Antweiler. He used to do video game reviews and movie reviews. And he was really funny. I don't know what happened to him, but he did a review on a Dungeons and Dragons type of movie with Tom Hanks. It was one of his earlier work, and this is a movie that released on TV, not theatrically, so it was his big break. And I've been wanting to get it because I am collecting a Tom Hanks filmography. So I picked up and found a copy of Mazes and Monsters, which is that Tom Hanks movie. And yeah, it looks bad, but I am a sucker for bad movies. And yeah, this is Tom Hanks' earliest movie role. Actually, I think this is even before Booze and Buddies, which is a TV show that he had where he cross-dressed to get cheap apartment. So yeah, I thought that was weird. Also picked up for my daughter, continuing the Disney theme, Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue. Disney released a whole bunch of these Disney fairy movies. I think there are 7, and I'm missing the last one, which is the Tinkerbell and the Never Beast one. I love me wrestling. I love finding wrestling DVDs, and I picked up Backlash. This is the 2006 edition of Backlash, which is memorable because it has a triple threat match between Shane O'Mac, Vince McMahon, Shawn Michaels, and God. And you actually see God entering the arena and Vince McMahon fighting God. But yeah, wrestling is weird, and I've actually been looking for this just because of that, and it is so absurd, yet I enjoy it. So, but man, that's stupid. Also, I already own the Platinum Edition of Mulan, but this is the Gold Collection version of Mulan. Very few special features. I think it only has 2. No, actually, it only has 1. One special feature, and it's music videos. So yeah, this is before they did the upgraded images. So yeah, Mulan. Also, my wife really likes this, even though she says it's a weird movie. But I like it, and I picked up Don Bluth's Old Dogs Go to Heaven. This is actually, there's actually a second one, I'm sorry. But the first one's obviously the best. The animation is Don Bluth, if you like Secret of Nymph, and I think he did American Tail. It's the kind of animation that he does. And this is a really good movie, I thought. I really, really liked it. I like the characters, so adding that. Even though it's not Disney, it's still a good animated movie, just like Secret of Nymph. Also, a couple of months ago, I picked up Pitch Perfect 2, so I had to pick up Pitch Perfect 1. Pick this up, and a number of these from Movie Freak Bazaar, which is a Facebook seller that I frequent. The first one is good. Definitely a good, girl music sing kind of movie. Second one wasn't that good actually. Also, the next movie I'm talking about, the very first movie I ever remember reading, and I read it because of a school project, was The Little Prince. My dad saw that I liked reading, and to motivate me to read some more, he let me borrow one of his books, and later on, he actually gave it to me as a gift, because it meant a lot that my dad let me borrow that book, because I felt like an adult. And so the second book, well, the very first book that I read on my own, thanks to my dad, was White Fang, and I loved the hell out of that book. And I remember that Disney did a live-action version of that, and I've been hunting for that for personal reasons. And I finally found a copy of the live-action Disney version of White Fang, and yeah, this is the movie, a movie that I'm definitely gonna share with my daughter. And once she's old enough to start reading, I will let her borrow the same book that my dad let me borrow and eventually own. But White Fang is a really good book and a really good movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember it was really good. Also picked up Book 1, Water, Volume 1 of Avatar: The Last Bender. This was an amazing animated series that they would pass on Nickelodeon. I saw this thing from start to finish, and I freaking loved Avatar: The Last Airbender, which made the M. Night Shyamalan adaptation of Airbender really, really upsetting. I didn't own this movie. I actually saw Movie John on Facebook talk that this thing released on Blu-ray. But I picked up Pinocchio. My wife really, really doesn't like Pinocchio. Because the scene where the kids are turning into donkeys kind of freaks her out. And justly so. That scene is terrifying. If you haven't seen Pinocchio, there's a scene where, naughty boys are taken to this island. And as they're smoking and drinking beer and doing everything, the deeper they go into their wickedness, they turn into donkeys and then they're sold as slave labor. It's a horrifying scene, which is cool. I like that. I'm pretty sure Professor Macabro would also enjoy the hell out of something like that. But it's a really good movie. It's the second movie Disney ever released. So it's, historic, and the theme, "When You Wish Upon a Star," is still used by Disney. So it's a landmark Disney movie. So I had to own it. But yeah, that freaking scene with the donkeys, holy shit, man. Picked up also because I love anime, Ghost in the Shell 2: Innocence. The first Ghost in the Shell is a landmark of anime. And years later, they released the second one, which I've never seen, unfortunately. But now I have it, so definitely gonna see it. Also, back to wrestling. Movie Freak Bazaar had this, and I had to pick it up. It's one of the 4 wrestler-specific DVDs I needed. Still looking for the Ultimate Warrior one, the Macho Man one, and Eddie Guerrero. And the 4th one is Stone Cold! Stone Cold! This is, I think, the second DVD that they dedicated to Stone Cold Steve Austin. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me. But this is the legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is a 3-disc set, a very metallic looking cover here. And of course it has a documentary on the life of Stone and career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, plus a couple of selected matches. At first, Stone Cold rubbed me the wrong way, because I didn't like how he just betrayed everyone. And that was his thing, DTA, don't trust anybody. But at first I was like, God damn it, man, don't be such an asshole. But, as his career and his matches went on, I actually really ended up liking Stone Cold. Except when he turned heel and he started singing Kumbaya to Vince McMahon. That thing was garbage. Movie John, again, going back to Movie John, he just completed his Godzilla DVD collection, which is monumental because collecting Godzilla is freaking hard. Some of the movies that released are out of print, and recently Walmart did release out of the 30 movies that are out, they released a 13-movie collection. It's like $50. So getting Godzilla is hard, but Movie Freak Bazaar had this one. It's not in the best shape, the cover art, but I got Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, this is like the 4th time they fought. But this is one of the, not the classic Godzillas, but the revamped that came out in 2000s. So the special effects are bigger, the suits are more detailed. But yeah, I'm desperately trying to complete my own Godzilla collection. Movie John's leagues away from me. He has a complete VHS collection and a complete DVD collection. The only thing he's missing is the Shin Godzilla, which is the new one that's going to come out in August. But I'm getting there. I'm still missing quite a few Godzilla movies, but I'm hoping that somewhere down the line I will complete them all. Also, really close to getting a full Pacino collection. Al Pacino. I'm missing some of his newer stuff, but from his older stuff, when I was missing A Sea of Love, and now I have it. He's a detective that's trying to solve a murder, but the murderer seduces him, so he's falling in love with the murderer. Early Pacino is really cool. When he was doing The Godfather and Scarface and Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico. So yeah, really happy to add this because I've had a hell of a time finding that DVD. Also, I'm trying to complete a lot of collections. I'm trying to complete a James Bond collection. I'm really close also. I'm only missing a couple of movies. But I was able to find Thunderball, which is an early Sean Connery movie. Really, always liked the character of James Bond, and even though if you see the movies, you can kind of tell the decade that they were made in. Having trouble talking, but yeah, each movie, the earlier James Bond stuff, the high tech gadgets are kind of laughable nowadays, but it's still fun to watch James Bond nonetheless, and I'm trying to complete that collection. Also, I like older movies. I like the older stuff, and I like going back to the original versions of movies. So I picked up The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. This, I think, if memory serves me right, came out in 1938. Must have, because this is the 65th anniversary that released in 2003, so probably, yeah. But yeah, I love the classic movies. Not a lot of people dig the classic stuff. They prefer the newer, shiny, explodey stuff. But I enjoy watching the older stuff. And Robin Hood has been remade into so many different versions. There's the Disney animated one. There's the Russell Crowe one. There's the comedy one, Robin Hood Men in Tights, with the Mel Brooks release. So Robin Hood's... There's 1,000 Robin Hood movies, but this is the one of the original ones. This is actually, I think, the second Robin Hood movie that ever came out. So yeah. Also, got this for free at Movie Freak Bazaar. The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. This is thanks to Harry Potter and Twilight and the Hunger Games. Damn, I can't talk. Yeah, a lot of teen movies came out, and this was supposed to be the next big book movie epic, but it bombed. However, I do know they released a like a Netflix series of that, but I don't know how well it did. Also picked up Immortals with Henry, what's his name? Henry Cavill from Man of Steel. This is a sword and sandal thing. Done in style kind of like the remake of Clash of the Titans. It has to say, ever since 300, Clash of the Titans and this has a very weird kind of look. But yeah, I like that kind of stuff, so I'm not really complaining. Also, I need to get the CD of this, but I found the DVD. This is Nirvana Unplugged. This is MTV, back when it was a respectable music channel, not the garbage reality show thing that it is now, would release these unplugged concerts where they would get bands and they would just acoustically, butcher that word, would play and just, showcase their talent, their natural talent. And Nirvana, I remember watching it and I really, really liked it. So I had to pick it up as soon as I saw it. Also, finally got a copy of The Deer Hunter. I've been looking for a copy of this movie for a long, long time, and I finally have it. War movies are hard to watch. My wife actually doesn't really like war movies, but I like watching them, and sometimes they are genuinely a very hard sit through, especially the older stuff. The older stuff was really, really hardcore. But I have Platoon. I have. Oh, I forgot the other one. I have Casualties of War. So I needed to get this, and I finally have it, and I'm super happy to have it. Also found the first season of Justice League Unlimited. I've been wanting to get the Justice League DVDs, and I finally, thankfully, found this 4-disc set. And I love the Batman animated series, the Superman animated series. And I still need to track down the 2 first seasons of Justice League, and now I have Justice League Unlimited, which is, I think, one of the last Justice League series that came out. Don't quote me on that. Picked up the Platinum Edition of Peter Pan, like I mentioned with 101 Dalmatians. It's a 2-disc set, which will complement the limited issue set, CD that I picked up months ago. Also, I picked up the limited issue of The Little Mermaid. I have the Platinum issue, the 2-disc thing. Like I said, this is a bare bones edition. But, yeah, why not? And I picked up Stitch the Movie, which is basically the pilot for the Lilo and Stitch animated series that came out in the Disney Channel. I enjoyed the hell out of Lilo and Stitch. Because it's a quirky little movie. Just like The Emperor's New Groove, love those movies. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, was also pretty cool. And this one, it's a pilot. The animation is not it's not that good, and you can tell it's a pilot. It's setting everything up for the animated cartoon series, just like Aladdin had a cartoon series and stuff like that. But the Lilo and Stitch characters are so lovable that screw it. I actually watched a couple of episodes of that and it was really cool. Been looking for this for a while and finally found Schindler's List. This, unfortunately, is a double-sided thing. I would have preferred one that's two separate discs. It's one of those DVDs that you have to watch the first part and then flip it to watch the last part. I would have preferred two separate discs than this flippy thing. And it's missing the insert. I don't even have a clue what came inside of this. But I've been looking. This movie has been really hard for me to find. I don't think I've ever seen it even on Blu-ray. And it's a hard sit. It's like 3 hours and some minutes. But yeah, I have a Steven Spielberg collection. Again, child of the 80s. Steven Spielberg was a big director in my time, and he's still pumping out movies. But yeah, I've only seen this once. I don't think I'm going to see it again. Also, love me some anime, and I found this box set super cheap. Whoops, almost dropped it. And I haven't seen it. I've read the synopsis, and it involves time travel, and I'm a huge time travel fan. And the animation really looks cool. But this is Noyen to Your Other Self, the complete series. It's a 5-disc set. And I love anime, and this, again, has time travel, so this is right up my alley. A friend of mine from work, a very good friend of mine from work, gave me, the same friend that actually got me 101 Dalmatians, got me this He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Volume 1, but this is all Spanish. So, yeah, I actually grew up watching the Spanish version of He-Man. They would pass it in Mexican TV, so that's pretty cool. Picked up Season 3 of Sherlock. I need to get Season 1 and 2. This is actually a pretty awesome adaptation and update to the classic Sherlock Holmes stories. The production is top-notch. The acting by Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman are amazing. And this is the season after their final battle with Moriarty. And I really, really like Sherlock a lot, so super happy about that. Picked up Kung Fu Panda 2. I love Kung Fu Panda 1, love Kung Fu Panda 2, freaking loved Kung Fu Panda 3. This is one of DreamWorks' best series in my opinion. Even better than Shrek, because all 3 movies of this have been amazing. While Shrek, only the first one was good, in my opinion. They also released an TV series of this, so yeah. But Kung Fu Panda, freaking amazing. I freaking love Kung Fu Panda. Also picked up the animated Doctor Strange. Marvel started releasing a lot of these. Obviously, the DC, oddly enough, the DC animated thing, movies that they've released have been way better than the Marvel animated movies they've released. But in the counterpart, the Marvel cinematic movies that they've released have been way better than the DC thing, except Batman. But yeah, this was it's based on the ultimate version of Doctor Strange. It's not the actual 616 version, but it's Doctor Strange. I've always liked Doctor Strange, so I had to pick this one up. Also, super excited to own this. This is a double feature of Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, which is actually the Godzilla vs. Destoroyah is the one where he actually dies. He's glowing red, and his radioactivity is kind of making him go on a meltdown, and he's going to explode. But of course, he has to fight Destoroyah, who's awesome. The design of Destoroyah is really cool. He looks like a freaking devil. But 2 more of my Godzilla collection wish list. I'm still missing way more than I would like, but I'm getting there. I am getting some Godzilla movies. And again, Godzilla vs. Destoroyah is pretty gnarly. One more for the James Bond collection, License to Kill. Timothy Dalton is not my favorite James Bond. He was only, if I remember correctly, he was only in 2 movies. But of the 2, this is the better one. This is the best Timothy Dalton James Bond movie, because they revoke his license to kill, so he goes rogue, seeking revenge. And yeah, I don't know. It just, there's something about Timothy Dalton. He's a good actor. He was great in The Rocketeer. He was amazing in Hot Fuzz. But as James Bond, I don't know. It just didn't convince me that much. It's either Roger Moore, who unfortunately passed away a couple of weeks ago, and Pierce Brosnan, and then Sean Connery. Those are my favorite James Bond. And then Daniel Craig. And then that guy that, George Lazenby, that was only in 1 movie. But and Timothy Dalton is like dead last, unfortunately. Yeah. Went to see Cars 3 recently. I won movie tickets for being I got into a raffle for being a good customer at Movie Freak Bazaar. And I won 2 passes to see Cars 3. And it's really good. It's Cars 3 is really, really good. I really enjoyed that movie. And I own Cars 1, so I needed to pick up Cars 2, which unfortunately is not that good. Cars 2 is not... It's okay. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. But yeah, this is one of the duds from Pixar. But Cars 3, I highly recommend it. Go watch Cars 3. That thing's pretty cool. Also, to add to the Nicolas Cage collection, I picked up The Runner. Have not seen it, so I don't really have that much to talk about. But Nicolas Cage and Robin Williams are really hard to collect for because they've done so many movies. Well, Robin Williams not anymore because he passed away a couple of years ago. But Nicolas Cage is still pumping out movies too. So to have a complete collection from this guy is hard. But I enjoy the hell out of Nicolas Cage, so I'll buy all of his movies. Also picked up for free at Movie Freak Bazaar because I won it. I picked up the Magnificent Seven, which is a remake of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, but Western, and this has Steve McQueen. I will admit that Westerns aren't my all-time favorite genre. There are a bunch of Westerns that I enjoy, and this is pretty cool. If you have not seen the Magnificent Seven, definitely give it a watch. It's really cool. I have not seen the remake, but it's on my to-watch list. Also picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ways of the Warrior. This is the version of the Turtles that came out on Fox a couple of years ago. And it was really good. It was really good. It went on for a number of years and a number of seasons. And it was good. It was good. So far I've liked obviously the classic Turtles, this version of the Turtles, and the Nickelodeon Turtles have also been pretty solid. Picked up, it's on a DVD box, but it's only the DVD. I'm sorry, it's on a Blu-ray box, but it's only the DVD. But I got it for 10 pesos, so don't really mind. But this is Ninja 3, The Domination. I don't own Ninja 1 or 2, but I remember watching this when I was younger. And it's about this girl that, oddly enough, is going to a golf course where this ninja just killed a bunch of people, and he gets shot. So the girl's checking on the ninja, and the ninja kind of transfers his soul into her body. So she's going around possessed by this ninja, killing people, that the people that killed him. So I remember it was really, really cool. And I'm surprised I saw it, so I had to pick it up. But I remember it was really, really cool. Also picked up Legend of the Black Scorpion. I have a number of these Dragon Dynasty. This is actually Dragon Dynasty DVD 24. But these are always cool. I love martial arts. And this is a newer thing because it has Siggy Sang from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But I still love me some martial arts things, so yeah. one of the more recent action movies that I enjoyed a lot. I actually saw it with my wife, and we both really liked it. Is Olympus Has Fallen. They also they released a couple of years ago a sequel called London Is Fallen, and both of these are pretty good. We really enjoyed it. I really liked this movie and its sequel, so I need to get London Is Fallen. But these were surprisingly good. Also, finally picked up Sin City, Dame to Kill For. This is the sequel after like 10 years of Sin City, and I love Sin City. It's based on Frank Miller's graphic novel series, and they literally brought those graphic novels to life, and it was really cool, visually very awesome. And this is the sequel to that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this because they did bring back a number of people from the first one. And of course it has Evergreen as the titular Dame to Kill For. So looking forward to seeing this. And to finalize the collection for this video, I picked up Allied Powers, the world's greatest tag team. This is, again, another 3-disc collection with documentary showcasing the greatest tag teams in wrestling. And of course the other 2 discs has complete matches from the tag teams showcased here. So you have Edge and Christian, the Fabulous Freebirds, DX, the Hardys, a number of tag teams. So looking forward to that. And the last one, the one I'm also super excited about. I love the case. The case looks really cool. It looks like a freaking book. And this is the history of the WWE Championship. It has another 3 DVD thing. I love how it's built. I love how it looks. And this, of course, has matches from all the wrestlers that defended the WWE, from going back from the WWF, Ivan Koloff versus Pedro Morales, to the last one on this one, which is the triple threat match for WWE Championship. John Cena versus Chris Jericho versus Christian. It actually has, from 2003, the WWE Championship match between Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, which is really cool. It has a lot of really cool. It also has the Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and that was an amazing match. So this is a really cool DVD, and I'm super happy to own this. Bought this out of Movie Freak Bazaar. So yeah, this will go great with my wrestling collection because I have a lot of collections. I love a lot of things. So yeah, which of course it kind of annoys my wife because I buy so much because I love so many things. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on Disney. I'm only gonna focus on Disney. I'm gonna try really hard to focus on Disney, except if I come across. If I come across anything from Godzilla, I'm buying Godzilla. But I will try to limit the number of DVDs because I have noticed that I buy a lot of DVDs. Way too many, some people would say. But I like what I like, and I love movies. So much so that I end up making videos that last like 40 minutes. And yeah, but I personally like long videos. I leave them on the background. I'm listening to the long videos while I'm doing stuff. So hopefully you do the same and you'll enjoy me talking for 40 minutes out of something that I personally really love. So yeah, that's the movie pickup video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78 from the Vargas Vault, the ever-growing Vargas Vault. Thanking you all, wishing you a nice evening, and signing out.